Okay, so here we are again to finish up the transcripts of Casey Anthony's transcripts, her second transcript with the police interview. Alright. So I'm going to pick up. They asked her, then why would you do that? Casey said, see, I don't know. I'm telling you that I just dropped her off, and that was the last time that I seen her. Even starting with what that everybody else is like, well, and what happened after that. That just can't be it, Detective Wells. She said, that just can't be it. Detective Wells, you remember the phone call you were telling us about? Casey, Is that true? Casey, yes. Did you actually talk with, what day was it you talked to her? Yesterday. Do you remember what time of day? Around noon. It was from a private number. Okay, what'd she tell you? What'd your daughter say to you? She said, hi, Mommy, and that's it? Casey said she started telling me a story talking to me about her shoes and books, and I tried to ask her where she was. About the book that she's reading. We have videos of her reading the story, and she's telling me the story 1,000 times. She's fine. She seemed perfectly fine. There was nothing in the background. Sergeant Allen, telling you about a book, that would not seem no sign of any type of stress at all? No, not at all. Great, that's wonderful. Let me ask you a question. Your daughter hasn't seen you in over a month, and she's not... She was excited, sorry, to talk to me. But at the same time, it's crazy that she didn't get upset when she talked to me. Which, had it been my mom... Is that or nothing? I know it would have been totally different. That makes sense to you? She never gets upset when she talks to me. Whether I haven't seen her for an entire day or if I had to work late at night, I didn't see her almost the entire day. Till next one. Question. The last time somebody took her and you didn't see her for 5 weeks was when? Casey Anthony. Never. Okay, now you haven't seen her in 5 weeks. She has not seen you in 5 weeks. No. Okay, she's been with this woman for somebody for 5 weeks. Hasn't been in your own home. Hasn't seen her mother in 5 weeks. That didn't upset her? No, she was fine. Or Casey Anthony said she was fine. She was fine. Y'all talked about the book. I mean, is that stuff you're saying true, right? Casey, she's always been like that, though. I don't understand how she's always been like that. She's always like that. You can even ask my mom. She's the same way. This is the first time I've been away from her for more than a day. Okay, the first time you've been away from her for more than a day and she wasn't the least bit upset. No. When you talked to her on the phone that day. She wasn't the least bit upset when I talked to her. And when I asked her to give the phone to another adult, somebody else, she was fine. She was willing to do it, but the phone hung up. She doesn't hang up phones. I know. Detective Wells, I would have been just beside myself. Casey, I have been. I would have called the police immediately. That's the part that I just don't understand. We got Casey, I don't know what to do. Sergeant Allen, you didn't know what to do? I didn't know what to do. At that point, I'm thinking, okay, they haven't been gone that long. Maybe I can find them. Maybe I can track them down. No, that very first day that all this happened, that I went to pick up Kaylee and she wasn't there. Initially, my thought was that they went to do something for a little bit. Maybe I just missed a phone call. Maybe I didn't get the call or the text message. Maybe something fell through the crack. It's happened before. Well, then you asked her to speak to an adult and she hangs up, or the phone hangs up, correct? The very next thing you do after that is what? Call the police, because now something really strange has happened, so you must have to call the police, right? After that, did you call the city police, or do you remember who you called? Which police agency did you call yesterday? I didn't call anybody at noon after I got that phone call. I sat down. Whoa. You didn't think that was odd? You didn't think this... I thought it was extremely odd. And they keep going back over and over all the lies she said, her stories that she has told that are lies. I have them all marked off. Then Sergeant Allen, did I give you any money that day? No, I would not have sold my daughter. If I wanted to really just get rid of her, I would have left her with my parents and I would have left. I would have moved out. I would have given my mom custody. Detective Wells, what about the baby's dad's parents? Would you have left her with them too? I haven't talked to them since we were probably 6 or 7 years old. Since we were little kids. That was probably the last time I saw or talked to them. You don't have a phone number for him? No, I do not. I would not have let anything happen to my daughter, except I made mistakes of trusting another person with her. That's it. And again, we go over it. No, that's not the truth. See, we can't get past that unless you go ahead and tell us the truth. Casey, there's nothing to get past because that is the truth. If there was anything else, something would have happened. Let's get past how we got to Universal. Let's get past how you talked to your daughter yesterday on the phone and have no idea where she's at and haven't seen her and haven't not seen her for 5 weeks and you didn't call anybody. Did you just think that one day she was just going to show up at your house? Casey says, no, I sat around yesterday trying to figure out what to do. I'm glad that I ended up seeing my mom. All that stuff happened for a reason because you're glad you saw your mom. Let me ask you this. You could have saw your mom 5 weeks ago. Said your mom, I don't know where. You could have called your mom 5 weeks ago. I was scared. What does that mean? I saw my mom's reaction right off the bat, and it would have been the same from the get-go. So wait a minute. You are more afraid of your mom's reaction than you are if you ever see your daughter again? No, I'm absolutely petrified. Absolutely petrified. I know my mom will never forgive me. I'm never going to forgive myself because there's that chance that I might not see Kaylee again, and I don't want to think about that. Hold on a minute, okay? I want you to tell me, okay? This is, is there some other thing that's more important in your life right now? That maybe, but you just weren't really focused on what you were saying when you told us, yet I've just accidentally told us you had an office here and we needed to be here because we might find something would help, or did you lie to purposely, or did you purposely mislead us? Which is those two is it? I purposely misled you. Okay, so you purposely misled us. This was all an attempt to help find your daughter, right? No. That makes sense to you, correct? Again, and in a backwards sort of way, yes. A backwards sort of way. I'm coming back to places that are familiar to me and that I know are familiar to her. Familiar situations that maybe, just maybe, would help. She's almost 3. Because you thought maybe some weird sort of, what, you said backwards way that we would find her here? This would help? So I'm asking, maybe she's been here within the last 5 weeks. Maybe they have something from up front, her coming through the turnstiles. I don't know. No. In this office, coming to this office. You didn't take us to the turnstiles, did you? You brought us here, right? You're right. Okay, now when you told him about these other places that were wrong earlier, that was also an attempt to help us find it. These were other places I've gone to and either seen Kaylee, or I know that her nanny has been to, and you're completely truthful about them all. Yes, I was completely truthful about those places that we've been to. I've been to those steps. That's where I dropped her off. I'm talking about other places, the other houses. I know the old folks' home. Not the old folks' home. Oh, so that really all the way true. Was not all the way true. I know Zanny has been to the old folks' home, so I've never. You pointed at the 3rd floor window and you said, well, that's what's her name's bedroom, and Zanny's bedroom is right below, is on the other side. That's what you told me, so that was a lie. That was a lie. Then why would you do it? Because that's what we're here for, right? Finding her. I don't know what else to do anymore. If I knew where she was, if something had happened, I would have admitted that a long time ago. So I will. Is your daughter in a better place? No, she's not. Are you worried about her? Casey, I'm absolutely petrified. If she was with her family right now, she'd be in the best place. She's not. She's with someone that I absolutely do not trust, and I'm absolutely scared that... That you don't trust yet she was babysitting your daughter for a year? I don't trust her now because of what happened. Sergeant, what point did you stop trusting her? The moment that her phone was cut off and I couldn't get into contact with my daughter. So you thought, man, something ain't right. Something's wrong, Casey said. And when you started thinking that something was wrong, which police agency did you call first, or the city police, or who'd you call first? Who did you go to help first to try to help find her? No one. I just love how they keep catching her in all these lies, and she's very she has to keep changing her story because they're nothing but lies, and it really gets to me because if this was my child, I would seriously not be A, lying, and B, would have called police and not waited and went out and partied like she did, because that's what really upsets me the most about this girl. This girl is absolutely crazy. Ted Wells, my one goal is regardless of what how it happened. The one thing is I don't care. I will lie, I will steal, or do whatever I can to find my daughter. I put that in my statement and I mean it with all my heart. They asked her who exerts the most pressure on her. My mom does, absolutely. Kind of rough. You're a single mom. I live at home with my parents. You never live up to your mother's expectations, right? Casey, at least not right now. But that no way means that I would ever do anything or let any harm come to that child. She's the one thing in this world that I love more than anything. And then they say, my concern is I know from my years of experience, I know what young adults and young moms and dads can do when parents exert too much pressure on them. They don't live up to their standards. They don't. So not that you would hurt your child, but you might have, because if your parent just constantly talks down on you, makes you feel like crap, you're not good enough. Casey, it's not my constant. I brought that on myself. The stuff that she says, the thing that she said, she's been right about everything. What kind of things she say? She told me that I took advantage of her, and she's right, because for a very long time, by using credit cards, when I had my own money, I still used some of her money. I went and bought material things for nothing. Whether it was things for myself, going out to eat, spend a little bit of time with friends, and and took Kaylee shopping. For whatever reason, I was extremely selfish. I was extremely selfish for a few years, quite a few years. My car ran out of gas. I was driving actually to different places. The car they bought from my brother 3 years ago. Sucks because I ran out of gas. My gas gauge is obviously reading wrong. The sensor could be wrong. It showed I had a half a tank of gas, but it was empty. When did it run out of gas? What, that before or after baby went missing? Oh, it was definitely after. And it ran out of gas in the parking lot of that check cashing store? No, it was right in the corner of Goldenrod and 50. As you turn, you get into the merging lane where Sam's is and the Am stop. As you're get on Goldenrod from 50, that's where my car stopped, right there, so I had to get out. You guys helped me push it into the parking lot. And I left 2 notes in the car, even saying I was going to come back and put gas in it. Why is your mother saying that's her car? Or is that what I heard? It's still in my parents' name. It was my brother's car. He ended up that was the car they bought my brother in high school. He bought the car, he paid off the car, and then he sold it to me, yes. My parents kept the title, whether for insurance purposes or whatever else, they still keep it in our name. So the fact that it was at a check cashing place is just coincidental because you ran out of gas. Because I ran out of gas.